What's new? Does anyone have demos? Jasmin, you have a demo.
It's not on a working state right now. It's working, but I will need to fix something for the demo.
So we'll just talk about it then.
Yeah.
Jean-Philippe. Anything? Okay, we'll just talk about it then. Derek, Dave, any demo, any sites you can share, we can look at them. And status option 1, we merged some PRs during the triage. So what did we do? One PR, update taxonomy service, the issue. It's an optimization. Apparently there is an issue with the way it's queried. It will do a select n plus 1 or something like this. And doing a toList before iterating the results apparently is better in terms of perf. Yeah, I don't exactly remember the reason or the way to report the issue, but he said that this code was faster, so we'll trust him, and the code looks good, so that's fine by me. So this is the only update on Orchard 1 on the dev branch. Orchard core, some pending branches, we can talk about them. 7 days ago, what do we have? So this branch has been, so this branch is still ongoing. This is Lucene analyzer. Then we have that create correct content zone for tab support when UpdateEditorAsync is called. So the name of the zone that was used to display the shapes for the tabs was wrong in the update method. It was different from the edit method. So if there was a validation error, then we will not see the tabs. So this is fixed by Dean. Another fix by Dean, updated getting started and remove missing file from Orchard core. So this file was not there. And this one, the link to the correct folder. Continue templates, maybe it's case sensitive and it was not working. This one not from me, but from Jean-Philippe, and I will explain why it's a merge. Renaming the Package.json to a lowercase 1, because otherwise there might be some issues when you clone. This one has been updated also, which is always good. Whenever we change the Package.json, we need to update the package log file. And these ones are just merge templates. So here you can see it's not a squash merge, and I tweeted about it. I found the reason why it happens sometimes when I merge the PRs. So if I go on GitHub and I take here, you can see I usually click squash and merge. Okay, there is an option. Create a merge commit will do this sort of thing. So it's creating a new commit and merging the other branch there. But what I like is to create squash and merge. And this is what I tell all the contributors to do. The ones who have merge access, access. What happens sometimes in GitHub, if you merge too many PRs quickly, like I do sometimes, it will say, oh, it failed. And there is a button called try again. And if you click try again, it won't do the squash and merge. It will do a merge commit. So that's what happened there. It said try again. I clicked try again, but it created a merge commit then. So if you do that, don't click try again. Go back go back in history and then click again squash and merge. That will fix it. So this is where that they don't store what option we use to do the merge. I think it's okay. Just checking this one. Yeah, this one should be good. This one is weird. That's not how you do that. I will comment for everyone. And I was there. Then what do we have? Another merge branch, Trumbowyg semantic default if div. Apparently it's just to prevent that any div tag that is copy pasted from another source will be converted to p tag, and ultimately will allow a better way to customize it. And Antoine has a PR for that. Then script working on Lucene Analyzer and Jean-Thierry working on liquid context and 3.0. On liquid analyzer, so this one is important. I hope I will be able to find the issue. If you have it, just let me know. But Lucene Analyzer. Provide a global scene setting to set the default analyzer. For each index, provide a setting to select which analyzer to use. So the analyzer is the class that is used when we index some content and also when we query some content in Lucene. And the goal is to convert every token in a document into something dependent of the culture of the text. And that means, for instance, simplifying the words. Like if you take president, the analyzer will convert it to presid, P-R-E-S-I-D, and presiding, also president, and so on. So it's taking I think they're calling stems for each of the words. And this will depend on the language because of the accents and the grammatical rules, and also there will be some logic to remove some words like than, for, a, things like this. So the analyzer is important when we index some text in a specific language, and also when we query, because when we query for preside, we need also to pass the words to the same analyzer that the document were indexed with, so that we can look for the same thing. And by default, we use a default analyzer, which is a good default for all languages, better for English, but sometimes you want a dedicated analyzer. That's what we want most of the time. So what we need to do is a way to define what analyzer we want to use for each index that is created. And this is what Jasmine has been working on, and that he can't demo yet because it's not ready. But that's the goal. So whenever we go in the index settings, we'll be able to define what analyzer we want to use, and also to be able to see all the available analyzers, and probably provide these analyzers from modules. But the default ones in Lucene should cover most of the languages. And then if you want to use a custom one or change the one change an existing one with your custom settings, be able to provide them by modules.
I got it working. I could share my screen, but don't look too much at the code because it's mostly tests that I made.
Okay, sure.
So
at least the behavior and how you set it in the UI and how it will affect the result. Presenter should be able to share.
Let me know when you see my screen.
I can see it. I think everyone else too.
Okay, so here first I'm just going to show the code. And what I added here, I had a project. I had a project because most of the time people should have new custom analyzers by adding a module that would have on the startup this line here, which is service that configure Lucene options, and in the Lucene option you can add analyzers. So here I created a French analyzer which adds also. I copied the code from Lucene because they provide a French analyzer, but they're not doing this part here that I had, which is the ASCII folding filter and the lowercase filter, which will transform every string that is passed as an ASCII character, which will remove the diacritics, accents, and stuff like that. And after that, we'll transform it as a lowercase string for searching purpose, which is easier for us.
You made your own analyzer.
Yeah, it's a copy of the one that that is yeah. And before we could just inherit from another analyzer to just add some filters to an analyzer, but here we can't do that anymore because they are still classes. So I'm trying to find a way to do that, but for now I just copied the code of the analyzer. And
maybe we should find issues on Lucene, because if they are sealed and they are not correct by default, there's an issue.
Yeah, I think so too. But for now,
it's just the French one. What would be ideal would be that the thing you did with the configuration is very nice. So it's not using a dependency injection to resolve every analyzer. We can just list them like this. And also, that would be interesting to have in a default module the common ones. So keep your French analyzer if you think it's better, but we could put it in the common one, and at least configure all the ones that are already in Lucene.
Yeah.
And if this way, if you add your own after on this module, that's fine. But at least we can list all the ones that are already in Lucene. I think that's what to do, because you have the list of 15 classes and you can just add them. No?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking too, because we can list the ones that is provided by Lucene, and this way it would be better. But we need
even hard-coded.
Yeah.
Even hard-coded. That's fine.
Yeah. That will be another part that right now I just wanted to see if it worked properly, and so far so far it's fine. But I just had some issues with the ordering because of the way that we index things in Orchard. An example here is if I start here I use the French analyzer. As you can see, normally it should sort things properly, but if I do sort, and maybe I use title sort.
You mean content item display text?
Yeah, also I could have used that one. They're pretty much the same. Yeah, let's try with this one since we can't see it. And this one is stored. It's not analyzed because we have another field which is analyzed, which is added for. Yeah. And this one will.
This one is not okay.
This one will not return proper result, I think.
So at least sort by the analyzed one. Oh,
yeah. What? Yeah, but the problem here that we have is that, as you can see, it's not going to work properly because it's going to add all the one with
It's case sensitive. No,
so
no, that's weird.
Oh, yeah, it's not case sensitive at all. I tried because there's one here. You will see on my other test if I'm using the analyzed one.
Yeah, we had this issue in the other bug. I think it was if you order by ordinal.
It's not case sensitive because here it's the case one,
No,
uppercase one is second.
that. Oh, so what field did you use, the second one? Because this is better. Even. What did you change in the query?
I did not. I just changed for the analyzed one to
Okay, yeah, the analyzed
so that
one
it
is better.
sorts
Yeah.
properly. Yeah, this one is properly sorted. Yeah.
Still, there is an issue.
Yeah, but that will be in the analyzer that I will need to.
No, it's good here. Everything's perfect.
It's because I had it it's sorted by creation date here. Here I created the one with the uppercase before this one, and it's just it's not making a distinction if it's an uppercase.
No, I think everything is good. The G, the
yeah,
N.
it's yeah, for the letters it's fine. Yeah.
So I think it's good as long as you use generalized colon to sort.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Sounds good to me.
But the issue that we have here is that
this one is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the title part here. That title part is I think indexed as stored and analyzed at the same time. So if I'm going in the content definitions here of Acme content type, you can select stored and analyzed. So you don't have any way to do a sort, an order by just an analyzed field because they are both done on the same field. So it creates issues where I saw, just to get faster, I have a screenshot here of the same thing. For requests. I'm using title part here. Maybe not those one. Refresh. There's something missing in my post. Yeah, it's that one. So if you do a sort on the title part that is stored and analyze it, you will get this result where you have title part which have no title part here will be sorted in the middle of other strings, and if you're using the analyzed one, then it puts all the title part that have no content on the top, which is fine because there's nothing. It's like null, and it's doing the sort properly here. But the sort for the letters is fine too. Here it's just that it adds stuff in between, which should not be there. It should be on the top here.
Yeah, must be right. We'll find out. Okay.
Yeah.
You should find it.
Yeah. And this happens with everything that is a field. I think maybe we should just create another field which would be analyzed, just like we do with the display text. Display text is indexed as two different fields in Lucene, which would make sense to me. And in my test here, I just added in the code where we index. It's French. No, it's not. It's indexing service. No, it's not that one. Index manager here. If we say that we store and that it's a field that is analyzed, then just add another field which ends up with dot analyzed. It's like a patch that I did just for testing.
Yeah, that sure is good. we might want to do it per field. Also, I looked at the title part index handler, and it's just forcing the analyze option. So the checkbox won't matter, it will always be analyzed. And it's not stored if you don't check it. So yeah, we need to test to understand the behavior. Because
this has confusion. I think it has confusion to if you're not checking anything in the here.
There is already an issue. Oh, that's weird. There's a bug. It's a bug. We should. I think it's related to the issue that the sort doesn't work correctly with the queries, so we should look into it. I think it's a different issue. Sorting has a different behavior that we don't understand. Maybe it's related to analyze and store, so we have to check. But that's a different issue. You should not care about this in this PR. Otherwise, I'll block you because it's a different issue and we don't know the solution for this issue.
Yeah. Oh, I'm testing different things. This is why I was saying don't look too much, because I need to have those things working for myself, but I will separate the PRs. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Looks good. Just waiting for the share to pick up. See one or two more. Yeah. So I think here this is the title part index handler. What it's saying is that whatever options are checked in the options, always analyze it. So even if you don't check analyze, it will be analyzed.
Yeah.
And I assume Lucene, there is another issue that we need to look at, which is this doesn't work, and we need to fix it independently. So we added unit tests. So just the way apparently we store the things, there is a you see, maybe you just you're on something into something, because here we can see that based on analyzed and stored, there are some different ways to do things. Analyzed, else, stored, field store, stored, text field, string field. Maybe that's the issue. Text field, string field.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's the difference between those.
Yeah, we need to look at the documentation to understand. Maybe that's why it's not sorted correctly. He added a unit test for that. So we could look into that. Do it differently, separately. So that was the Lucene analyzers. So Jean-Pierre is still working on the 3.0 branch fix building after updating the last version. Probably breaking changes in preview 7, the latest bits. Well, for sure, breaking changes. And actually this was mentioned today or yesterday by the ASP.NET team. David Fowler found a reference to that, which was removed in Orchard, and so now we are using the interface. And apparently Fluid handles that correctly, so even if it finds a complete implementation, even if it's private, it will check that, or because it's implementing that. Well, I assume it was tested by Jean-Thierry, but I think that Fluid should be able to understand that. Member access strategy, and parent register type, maybe that's, I don't know where it is. Member Oh yeah, that should work. Yeah, because it's registering the interface, which means it will do a reflection on the interface. So it will, okay, that should work actually. I see. We'll still be able to try. Yeah, so fixing build, and this one is also related to, let's see something, SQLite in NuGet.org, because there should be some changes on this one, which I mentioned last week. Yep, so now that's good. So this one should be new. 16 days ago, interestingly 16 days ago, but it targets net standard to 0 now, which was not the case before, and we had a hack for that. So we need to update SQLite. Short theory, if you hear me, we can remove the package reference to net standard package 2.1 and use the net standard to 0 target of this one. So that should work now when we build in self-contained. Okay. I put there nothing else on the code, not the other branch. Content localization permissions, and we have to check that, and the rest is old enough. Questions, comments? Did I miss anything during my trip? I haven't looked at the PRs yet. I just opened my laptop to look at, to go on this meeting for request. This one is interesting because yes, we found the issue because the translation wasn't available in some liquid templates, and I saw on my emails that he also added a new liquid filter to render liquid from liquid. He's also updating the for to be async, the item metadata. So that's good stuff.
I'm not sure because I think the filter is named liquid, but maybe we could have used include, like there is already an, yeah.
No, yeah, it's different. And I checked on the documentation for liquid, you don't have such thing. So I think liquid is fine.
Okay.
New string valuation. This is not encoded. It's converting all the metadata to async. It's a good stuff. I'm sure we mentioned that last time, but it's good because we have many examples where the metadata is dynamic, is asynchronous. Okay. Rule, this was mentioned last week. I didn't mention that in the meeting. So this one is interesting because so there is this site, okay, that defines all the pluralization rules for every language, and this user, he will, what's his name? It's not public. He will mention that somehow it changed. It used to look for ZHCN, ZHTW for Chinese languages, but now his machine is looking for the hands CN and hand TW, and this is breaking the pluralization rules we had because we were defining the Chinese with, you see, ZHHQ, CN, and TW, Hong Kong, China, and type 1. But if you look at the plural rules here, for ZH, it's just one rule for the ZH code. There is no specific one for these languages. And also these ones were the only ones with a local part of the full culture string. So I asked him if we could look into just using ZH, and apparently that fixes everything. And he also fixed the code to always look up the parent chain of the language to finally come to ZH until there is invariant at the top, and then pick up this one. And so that should be good. I have to check what changes have been made since then. He also added a link to this XML file. This XML file is interesting because it will actually be a technical representation of the same rules that we can parse if we need to generate it automatically. Confirm that ZH is the same as the other languages with this plural rule forms just one. So this one should be good to know. And it fixes the issue. So let me check ZH plural get base culture, that's a new one. With some unit test, I asked him to add one so we could ensure that it will always work. Beautiful, beautiful, love it, perfect. Merging it while I'm here. I haven't looked. The rest, localized content field, content picker field. How is the content culture picker going, Jean-Philippe? It is ready. In fact, there was no dependency on auto-route. Okay, auto-route entries. We talked about it during last meeting, last triage, to add a new concept that things can provide matching routes from a path. Okay, so I will merge it once I've looked at the code. All good. Questions?
Oh yeah, maybe I have one. Do you remember why we added a prefix about the content type when we had a field in the Lucene index? Why do we do something like acme.fieldname.something?
Because the field name could be the same in different content types.
Yeah, and is that an issue?
Yes, because yes, it's an issue because you might want to find everything with a value in a field for a specific content type.
But you could you could filter by content type.
But there was a reason that Himanshu did that, to have a convention with the type, the part, and the field. This way it's unique. I think that's an issue though.
This is an issue if you want to have multiple content types in one query that could have the same fields, and you want to say, like, I have a flag. Or
then you'd say, oh, content type.foo equals blah, or content type2.foo equals blah.
Not really, because you have two different fields now that you need to look at.
Oh. Yeah, but you can do it all.
I need to look, but I had issues with that. when I was trying to do filtering.
And that's more common to, that makes more sense to query two fields than expecting the same field name and to have to filter on the content type. That's
yeah, I see what you mean, but when I was doing that, I had different results. So I need to try again and just make an example of that.
okay. But I think it's better to have the prefix everywhere. When Manchu renamed, redid all the prefixes, it all made sense. Because he gave us some examples of queries he could not do without that. If you look at the issue, when he made the change in the PR, he filed the issue and explained all the things he could not do.
Yeah, I need to find that one. This is why I was asking. I have not found it. I think it's Nick that added that. Nick Main?
Himanshu.
Himanshu? Okay.
I can't find it, but look for it.
I think it was in the bottom, but it was red as closed, but doesn't make sense.
Maybe the username is wrong. Or I type it with a different username. I don't know. Oh, I know. Contributors. Oh, yes, see here. So I had the first name right, but the alias is different. What? Okay. To allow for flexible and neural searches. So I assume that's the PR. Fixes 2466. Yeah, with one field you can do queries on different parts and types. That appears anywhere, that appears in content type. So yeah, with this, maybe you can have the same field but without the prefix. Maybe it exists also. Or maybe there is always a prefix which is a content type because it's the part that contains it. So that's what it is. So if you have a custom type, that's how it will work. Yeah, look at it, but I think it's good.
Yeah, if I do anything that changes something, I need to still
You can't.
support what he has there. Huh?
You can't change the naming of the field. It's too late. try to find an issue with the bug you find, and then
Yeah.
we'll see if you really can express the issue, see what you can do. But I don't think it's an issue. Okay, good, thank you. Thanks everyone. I'll see you on Thursday, unless I say I can't do it, but I should be able. So see you on Thursday. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.